Sup, Trojans? I know it's been a while, so I'm going to attack this in a chronological order. So, there was really a content lapse between my last video and the first preseason game, and then I sort of got busy right after that first preseason game, and, here we are. So that first preseason game, I thought it was really good. I thought the Giants looked really good. Obviously, the secondary could have been better, and to me, and I'm just talking about like the parts I saw. I only watched the first half of both games. But the secondary in that first game, could have looked a little bit better, especially Aaron Robinson. But, he's still young. I don't want to rule him out just yet. It could be one bad game. I wasn't looking at him too hard in the second preseason game. But I don't want to overreact to him too much in preseason. If I'm going to overreact in preseason, I'd much rather prefer it to be positive. Right? I like to be optimistic in that aspect. So, I thought it was noteworthy. The one, okay, I'm gonna go for the obvious one. Daniel Jones looked really good to me in that first preseason game, and he looked good in the second preseason game again to me. But that throw to Kenny Golladay, I thought it was a good throw. Thought it was a pretty good throw. I mean, Daniel Jones, obviously, he could have done this better, that better, but, whatever. Grade of, 90 on that throw. It was a good throw. And then Kenny Golladay is just, drop. But in this, I almost want to change my mind about Daniel Jones getting franchise tagged at the end of the year. Because after that game, Brian Daboll, Giants head coach, comes out and is like, yeah, Daniel Jones threw the ball low. What? I never thought he would say that. You know what I mean? You have the head coach of the New York Football Giants basically just out here dogging on his QB. Just he throws the ball low. I mean, it literally hit him. It, hit Kenny Golladay. The ball did. It hit him. But it was low. Kenny had no right to catch that, That's an exaggeration, obviously, but, you don't emphasize that, and then, if you say that comment, you gotta, go back and be with that being said, Kenny definitely should have caught that. That plays on Kenny. But, from a head coaching standpoint, I'm looking at all aspects of the play, right? You gotta, double down on that, right? Triple down. And there just wasn't enough of that walking back for me, and it makes me think that Daniel Jones is going to be gone at the end of the year if he doesn't win us a Super Bowl this season. Who knows? He might. But, I mean, if you go by, my prediction, 7-10, Daniel Jones does pretty good. I mean, I think the Giants might end up cutting him. They might. And then, I don't know, maybe they fall in love with, CJ Stroud, and they're like, yeah, we're willing to trade the whole franchise for him. Yeah, we want that first overall pick. Who knows? But, I mean, with the head coach dropping comments like that, that's what I'm thinking. The other thing I really took away from that first preseason game, last one, was Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, he looked really good that preseason game. Very, very good at just breaking the blocks. I mean, I saw an interview with him after that game, and he was like, yeah, I had a good game. I did all my techniques, and I mean, that's what it looked like to me. And I wasn't, I'm not a professional film analyst or anything, but I was looking at Kayvon Thibodeau every play. The defense, that's what I was looking at. I wasn't looking at, any of the corners or anything. No, when Kayvon Thibodeau was on the screen, that's where I was looking. And I saw him just shredding the blocks. I think he drew a penalty even, because his first step was so quick. The dude, I think it was a false start. The right tackle that Kayvon Thibodeau was coming off the edge of, false start. That's how scared that guy was of Kayvon Thibodeau. He was like, oh, it's a good thing my quarterback's getting the ball out quick. or he would have looked bad by everybody. Well, got away with that one because I think it was Brian Hoyer that was in for the Pats in that game. He was doing pretty good. Classic veteran quarterback stuff. All right, now into the second preseason game. Much more recent, Giants, Bengals. Giants have 2 wins in the preseason. Take that for what you will. It's preseason. Obviously, there's a lot of fight between the backups, and I mean like in a good way. Like they're fighting for the wins, which is what you want to see. That's definitely what I like out of my depth players. But I mean, for the starters, they were looking good, and yeah, the 2 preseason wins are nice. I'd like to start the season 2-0. That'd be great, but we'll take the wins where we can get them. But the second preseason game, I thought the Giants played pretty well overall. It makes me optimistic that the 7-10 prediction is more of like a minimum than what they may actually end up at. I mean, if everything breaks right, I mean, Giants could be 9-8. You just need a couple games to go your way, but I don't know. And injuries in the second preseason game or around it, it really, like, that doesn't scream that things are going to go our way this season. No matter how good the team looks. I mean, Daniel Jones looked as good as I would expect Daniel Jones to be. Obviously, that interception's not his fault. Your rookie 4th-round tight end pick has to catch the ball that hits him in the hands. But, that's something he can work on. He is, our 4th-round pick tight end, he is just a rookie. I expect numbers from him day one. But, he's a 4th-round pick and a rookie. While I expect numbers, he might make some mistakes, and that's all right. You get a year to make a couple mistakes. I mean, even as a 4th-round pick, 4th-rounders, you normally get like a year. They don't want to just drop. You don't want to drop your 4th-round pick right away. It looks bad. 5th and up is where you're like, all right, we can start maybe dropping these guys if they suck in training camp. Which brings me to another really bad, or not another, but brings me to a really bad injury. Our 7th-round pick, Beavers, tore his ACL. You don't want to see that. He looked great in that first preseason game. He was tackling guys left and right. There was like, I think one guy was like breaking. I don't know. There was one play where like someone couldn't tackle the guy, and then Beavers comes out of nowhere and just boom ends the play right there. It was something like that. Maybe the guy didn't break a tackle. He just couldn't like catch him or something. But like Beavers came in and just made a great tackle. It was awesome. Like that's what I want to see out of my 7th-round guy. A good tackler. That's how you make the team as a 7th-round pick. Just tackle the guys. I mean, easier said than done. But he was doing it. But unfortunately, we'll have to see that in year 2. And then obviously the big story, and this is the reason I really wanted to wait a couple days before I made this video, going off of the second preseason game where, I thought the Giants looked good, the starters looked good. I really like David Sills, and I think Brian Dable even said that Sills might get some playing time in the regular season. Like, they're past about whether he'll make the roster or not. They're like, nah, David Sills, starting wide receiver. And that might be true because, C.J. Board had that awful fumble against the Bengals. Horrible fumble. So he's probably getting cut. Richie James is a really great returner. I saw him on that one punt return. Solid. That's what I want out of my returner. Best returner we've had since Corey Coleman. You know what I mean? I really don't know why the Giants got rid of Corey Coleman. He was a great returner. Obviously not like big notable name, but like, what was 2019? I think it was 2019. The Giants had like a ton of injuries. They get Corey Coleman. Corey Coleman starts breaking returns for like 30, 40, 50 yards. And we're having great field position like every other play or every other drive. And then, I guess Joe Judge came in and was like, nah, I don't like that guy or something. We need C.J. Board. I forget exactly how that change went down. I forget whether it was Joe Judge coming in that did that, or maybe it was 2020. Corey Coleman was there. I forget whether it was 19 or 20. I feel like it was 19, though. But Corey Coleman was great. Richie James was looking really good, though. So you can just have Richie James be the punt and kick returner. You might as well have the same guy doing both. It's similar. There's a lot of different nuance and stuff of the guys are coming at you differently. Ball's coming at different angles. Whatever. It's similar enough to where one guy can easily be doing both. So, yeah, Richie James is the returner. And then a guy like Darius Slayton might get cut because I haven't seen him in these preseason games at all. Is he injured? Is he? I see David Sills out here catching passes from Daniel Jones. Nice back shoulder catches. Is David Sills out? I mean, David Sills made a catch almost like Shep in this image. I mean, what a great catch by Shep here. Rookie game. I think this image, I meant it to be, if it's not. It's meant to be his first touchdown catch. Dallas Cowboys, I think week 1. Week 1, 2016, where we owned them. We were 2-0 against Dallas 2016. It was great. Yeah, Shep makes this amazing catch. I remember watching that play. I was just like, please tell me he somehow caught that. Like, just hold on to the ball. Hold on to the ball. And you see what he had to hold. The arm was in there. That defensive back covered that really well. And Shep just like, no, I'm not letting go. Amazing play. David Sills had that on the back shoulder catch. Now, a hand wasn't in his way, but it was a nice catch. David Sills, get him in here. I like Slayton a lot. I have Slayton's autograph. Slayton's cool. But, I mean, just going by what I'm seeing, Slayton's gone. And the other wide receiver, Alex Bachman, I mean, again, Brian Dable was talking about him starting, but for a guy like that, I know he had the nice game-winning touchdown and all, but I don't know if I see the room for him unless you want to carry one extra wide receiver and have one less linebacker or offensive lineman, which we might have to do based on availability anyway, so that might answer that question. We'll just have like 27 wide receivers. It's fine. It'll work itself out. All right. Wow. That was a real tangent. I want to get back to the Kayvon Thibodeau injury. So basically, there's one play. Giants, this was actually because C.J. Board fumbled. This only happened because C.J. Board fumbled the ball. He must be feeling guilty as well. No, they're talking about how the Bengals, the player, the tight end or whatever that injured him, they're talking about how that was a dirty block. I don't like the block. I mean, it didn't look good, but it was like the same thing we had several years ago where a backup corner for the Browns in. It's funny how things come full circle like that. I just realized that. But it was like 2018 preseason or whatever. One of those years. Might have been 2017. No, it wouldn't have been 2017. Would it have been? It might have been. It might have been the 2017 preseason. Dang, that would suck. It was a preseason game, though. Anyway, a backup corner for the Browns, did a low tackle on Odell, injured his ankle, kept him out for, I think, a week or two of the regular season. Like the first couple weeks there. And, everyone was like, oh, it's the dirtiest hit ever. Like, same reaction. It was like, it's the worst thing ever. And, again, didn't like the angle. You can, be like, bad form, whatever, but it wasn't necessarily an illegal move. It wasn't anything too crazy, and I think it's the same thing here. I don't like it. I mean, maybe you could institute some sort of rule, but for now, it's unfortunately a legal block. Then the unfortunate result happened of an injury. We can do something about it in the future, but for that play right there, I mean, that's what's going to happen. Or potentially. Obviously, you don't go into a block like, yeah, let me injure this guy. If you do, then that is a penalty, or should be. It's fine, suspensions, all that. But for that, just very unlucky. The good news, though, I was, hurt when I saw Kayvon Thibodeau on the ground, holding his knee like that. Oh, no, please, no. But fortunately, 5 seconds later, he's up walking around having a good time. He should only miss week 1. That's the timeline I've seen. He'll miss week 1, MCL sprain, get right back out there. And then we get to see Kayvon Thibodeau. Because I didn't think we were going to beat the Titans anyway. We might. But, having a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau come off the edge might really have pressured Ryan Tannehill into making a few mistakes. And, we could look back on a close 23-20 game and be like, if Kayvon Thibodeau was there, that could happen. But I didn't plan on beating the Titans anyway. So, I'm cool with it. He comes back week 2. I want him healthy. I want him 10 sacks game 1. All that nonsense. 5 sacks game 1. 5 sacks in week 5 against the Packers as well. Breaking sack records, rookie season. I'm sure he might not be able to do all that. That is a tall order. I'd like to see 10 sacks out of him on the season, though, for Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he can do it, even with missing the one game, potentially. I think the Giants came out bold initially, and they were like, he'll be back. You know what? Kayvon Thibodeau, he's so strong. He'll be in the third preseason game. It's like, whoa, calm it down, guys. It's a little aggressive. No, but they said they didn't plan on him missing any regular season time, and I was like, sheesh. Like, I don't know. Those numbers don't exactly add up. Week 2 adds up much more than not missing at all. You're rushing him back a tad if he comes back week 1. But if he's feeling good, I mean, if he's like begging to go out and play, you don't want to just have one doctor in the back corner being like, is it 100% healed though? It's like it's 99.9% healed, but that guy says it should be 100. And you might as well let the guy go out there. I think like in 2019, they rushed Saquon back too early. He was not in the right headspace to be coming back from that injury. And, put him out there anyway, and, it was tough for him. Same thing in 2020 with Daniel Jones. Came back a little too quick. You don't want to see that out of your guys. I would much rather have Kayvon Thibodeau take the week off against the Titans than come back too quick. And, I wouldn't want to see Kayvon Thibodeau out there on the field favoring an ankle. Like, no, or a knee or a leg or whatever. I don't want to see him favoring anything out on the field. I'd rather him take that extra week off and then come back way healthy and be able to put all the pressure he needs to on that part of his body. But, I mean, that's my preseason wrap-up. I'm pretty optimistic about the Giants this season, really both sides of the ball. Just cautiously optimistic though. I keep saying Giants will probably go 7-10, and that's not because of a hard schedule. Because the hard schedule. It's not because the schedule is that hard or anything. It's just the Giants. We have not been lucky the past several years as I've been watching this team. I mean, 2016 we got pretty lucky. Just winning all the close games. With a solid defense. I mean, pick right there. You have a rookie wide receiver just making a great catch. We haven't had that luck since really that year. Obviously, all the luck came down on us in that 20, well, I guess it was technically in 2017. That game against the Packers. And maybe it was still, I don't know. Maybe it was December 99th, 2016. But that game against the Packers ending the 2016 season, that was a killer. That game really killed the whole next season. That game really turned this franchise the wrong way. It's the boat trip though. I've heard the conspiracy theory that Shep needs to leave the team for the boat trip curse to be lifted. I don't think that's necessarily true. But, I mean, I don't know. I just like Sterling Shepard so much. I don't think that's necessarily true. Because it's not like Victor Cruz, if you have a curse and you want it to be obvious like that, you have one of the guys leave and the team gets, slightly better. You know what I mean? So it's okay, Victor Cruz leaves, and then we should be, a little bit better. And it's no, okay, maybe Odell leaves and we're a little bit better. And it's no. It's okay, so I don't think Shepard, if you're gonna have a curse, right? You don't wanna make it obvious that the solution, if it can be done in parts, you would want to be all right, I completed part 1 of what the curse needs to have happen to be lifted, and it gets slightly better, but that wouldn't be the case with this curse. So, Shep was likely gone after this season anyway. He's really just here so he can recover in the same facilities and stuff. Maybe he comes in late in the season, makes a cool impact. I'd love to see Shep make some game-winning catches for us to get into the postseason. But, I don't know. He'll probably be back late in the season, but I don't know. Or maybe not late in the season. It might be like mid-season. Who knows? I don't know his timetable. He had a really bad injury, and it was toward the end of the season, so you really, really don't want to see that. But anyway, I'll wrap this one up. I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis. I hoped I got everything out pretty good there. I'm rooting for Sterling Shepard. Go Giants. Should be a fun third preseason game against the Jets. I would not mind going 3-0 in the preseason. Be a nice little morale boost for the new coaching staff, maybe. I don't know. It's preseason, though, so you got to take everything with a grain of salt. I will say, based off the coaching staff, what I've liked in these preseason games is there is a lot of creativity going on the coaching staff, and I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, Wink Martindale blitzing guys left, right, up, center. You know, I was like shocked. There was like a play where it was like, all right, normally, you know, any normal defensive coordinator would only blitz three, send three guys, play very conservatively. It was like an end of half play, I think, in the most recent preseason game. And I was like, obviously, right, you would do like a Patrick Graham on this play, just sit everyone back and then have your guys still somehow get beat. But Wink Martindale, he took the aggressive approach. He blitzed three guys, like I said before, right? He didn't just send three, he blitzed three, right? Three in total, guys, rushing the passer still. Now, he did something really weird. The three guys, like, they looked like they were about to drop back in coverage, and so then all 5 linemen are just standing there like, what are we doing? And then the three guys rushed. It was a really weird move that happened on that play. And then, I mean, the craziest thing happened. The absolute most insane thing I've ever seen. The Giants didn't give up an end-of-half touchdown. It was a miracle. I was shocked. I mean, it's preseason, but still. It's like, whoa. Who knew we could do that? And that's what you get with a guy like Wink Martindale going crazy with blitzes. Very weird formation. But I always found it funny. I was like, whoa. Like, every time I saw a play where he only sent 4, I'm like, whoa. What have you done with Wink Martindale? And then on offense, whatever playbook was cooked up between Mike and Brian. We're just going to go informal for the playbook. You know, good old Mike and Brian. Whatever playbook they whipped up, I like it. Because there were so many plays in both games where a magical thing happened. Wide receivers doing short routes, they were open. There was a check down. All right? I don't think I never thought after watching the 2018 and 2019 seasons, I would be excited to see another check down. Like, whoa, a wide open check down where the guy has time to turn around and possibly break a tackle before getting tackled. It's like, it's mind-boggling that can even happen on an NFL field after watching solely, like, the last 2 years I've only watched the Giants. I'm a Giants fan. I haven't gone crazy watching other teams. I probably should have the last couple of years to see what an NFL offense looks like. Now, obviously, I've watched, like, postseason games and stuff, right? But, you know, during the regular season, you know, I'm not doing, like, what I used to with fantasy football, where I would watch a lot of other teams, you know, when the Giants aren't on. That had not been the case the last 2 seasons. So, when the Giants' offense, you know, wasn't looking good the last 2 seasons, it was weird. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I didn't get to see an NFL offense. It felt like the last 2 seasons. Like, whoa, I mean, like, yeah, you must have to, like, fight for, like, those 3 yards. Yeah. Turns out in this playbook, 3 yards is a check down, and the guy's wide open, and then he has time to, like, turn around. It's this weird concept. Mind-boggling that, like, if you have a guy, like, run a deeper route and make a cut a certain way, it makes defenders, like, focus on that, and it leaves another guy open in the flat for a nice, easy check down for an easy 5 yards every now and then. It was miraculous. It was simply amazing. And I never thought I would see that back on the Giants again. It was insane. I mean, but credit to Pat Shurmur. I mean, Pat Shurmur had that a lot in, like, 2018, and a lot of people ragging on Eli for taking checkdowns. But, I mean, what would you rather do? Take a nice, easy 10 yards to Saquon, or lob it up for Odell every play? I mean, I'll take an easy 10 yards rather than lobbing it to Odell every single play. Then march down the field 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, and then get to Odell when Odell's available. Now, obviously, Odell in 2018 and prior was Odell Beckham Jr., he's going up catching contested passes, and then get him on a quick slant and forget about it. Kind of looked like that for the Rams again. It was nice to see. But anyway, here's the real ending to the video. Thank you guys for watching, all that stuff. Like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. And you know what? We're going to end this video before 26 minutes. We're going to do it, and it's going to be amazing. See you guys in the next one.